All right, here we are in Elimination Round Heat 4. Even matchup right here. Isabella Nichols, who was on fire throughout the Aussie treble, going up against Marks, current number 5 versus number 7. Monitoring every movement by these surfers. And we're going to see a wave ridden, and it's Marks on her backhand, which the surfing world knows is a lethal combination.
In the first few minutes, that's always going to be considered a really good start, and I was sold on this one. I mean, first carve's not bad, and then I'm just thinking, just right out of that, you're going up into the... Look at this now, Bella with the answer.
All right, Bella now on her backhand, so we got a Goofy v Regs matchup here. One quick snap to start. So nice and clean, pretty bumpy on the face, but 3 turns down the line.
Well served.
Yeah, that was a good start for Isabella Nichols. Better than the start from Marks.
As of right now, this is going to be the best wave of the heat. Deep bottom turn, great extension on that first carve on the backhand for Bella. Adjusts very well right there for the second one, just wrapping it back and into the lip. So well-surfed wave for what it was worth. I mean, by no means was that a perfect wave. She made the most out of it, though, Chris.
Well, I liked it better on the replay. Look at this crowd still raging down here in Saquarema. And Marks cutting her way down the line. This wave, kind of the gift that keeps on giving. Just offering up some sections that are bending at her. So nice 3-turn combo there. Marksy. And how fun is it to have this large of a commentary crew? We could just keep ping-ponging all around the beach, up and down.
Looking forward to it.
How much time is left? 21 minutes. Well, let's take a look at this wave from Marks. Speaking of looking good, I mean, kind of had to fight for it, but definitely was rewarded on this inside section.
Yeah, and keeping the flow going, too, which is always something super important, especially at a beach break like this. Can turn into really long waves with this higher tide still dropping in. You know, ain't necessarily going to be a huge number, but by the standards of the heat so far, it's definitely going to matter. So looking to improve just on the 2.33, and with still plenty of time on the clock after the restart, this could be an important wave considering how slow it's been out there for both of these women. You know, quite unforgiving in that sense, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of work. There's a lot of paddling involved, duck diving, but Marks might have just found a little gem here. Textbook. Marks backside snap. Second one was impactful. Third was pretty good too. She's got a meaty inside section, but just a little overdone. Awkward landing sensor straight into the flats there.
They're in time, but just a little late to the party. First setup snap. Second one's critical into the lip. A lot of spray. Look at this. Has to cut it short, and maybe just went a little too far on it. Slightly off time for that last one, so an unforced error for Mark. Seems to be paying off so far, Chris.
It's a good guy to tap into. He's had a lot of success here in Brazil and, of course, in the world. As you see, a 2-stager. Marks, snap, float, gets a little air under her board, trying to get around this section. Maybe a little something here. We heard the G word earlier on, grindy. It's kind of the word of this heat for sure. Marks just trying to finish off that wave. I liked the first turn. I feel like it's going to be right there in that 3.6 range.
I know. And looking at this from a different angle right now. Yeah, more of a 2-stager. It wasn't her fault, though. She actually went up to the lip well, and the wave kind of decided to do that on its own. And
one time the backwash is going to help you.
It helped, correct. And gets the bonus right here towards the end. And not a whole lot, but it does add a little pizzazz right there towards the end. So if she does improve, I don't think it'll be by a whole lot. But as of right,
can be deceiving. So this wave, yeah, it has a little momentum. Setting things up. Could stand up for her through the inside. There's a little slash right there. Again, that wave had a 3-ish feeling to me.
Never really offered up a whole ton of scoring potential. When you look at it, though, well served for what it was worth. First turn, more of a setup, much better engaged right there on the rails and in the pocket. That was a tough section, Chris. And I mean, when we're talking about much more commitment and degree of difficulty.
It's slowed down, and it's also just as challenging as it was earlier. So put those two together, and you're going to really have to force the issue, and that's how you at least start. Only a 1-turn burner there for Marks.
Bella sold her on that, though. Hilarious majority of the time.
Is this the wave Isabella Nichols needs? It's nice and clean on the face. little bit flat though.
But you got to grind it. You're already up on your feet.
I mean, nice effort. Just the wave didn't give
Double
her
up?
anything.
Double up?
She's not giving up. I'm not going to give up on it. Here we go. Pump through the inside.
Oh.
No, the wave gave up. None of us gave up except for the wave.
I wanted better body language right there at the end. I feel like if you put a little bit more emphasis on the first turn. Luckily, we're not scoring, so we don't have to, go through the stress.
Right now.
First turn's not bad, Chris, but as you did say, it goes super flat right here towards the tail end of it. That's much better, puts in a little bit more power.
She did everything she could on this wave. It's just the wave was a letdown. You're looking for a 3.87.
Basically a 4. And if you're a judge, you're just thinking to yourself, who deserves to make it out of the seat? Was it more convincing?
Nobody's happy in either camp. This is a replay of Caroline Marks.
Oh, we did not see this, and this is going to make a difference. Or at least
maybe.
It seemed that way, yeah. Oh, that'll for sure improve on the 3.6 for Caroline.
Well, I may be putting my words on a plate and eating them because the first indication from the judges is looking pretty good for Isabella Nichols.
Right.
That is, of course, of the VIVO Rio Pro presented by Corona Cero. There is your Elimination Round Heat 4 final results. Caroline Marks, clutch wave on her last effort, a 6-point ride paired with a 5.43. She will advance through. Unfortunately, we lose Isabella Nichols.